What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And here, Charles Gasparino has really been covering this case. And it's interesting because we're finally getting that mainstream media coverage of the digital asset XRP and the lawsuit against SEC, or with the SEC. Um, and it's interesting because you're starting to see a lot of exchanges. For example, Texas just mentioned something about Celsius having unregistered securities. And it seems like exchanges are going to be getting hit hard. And one thing I've said, and that has been shown on other channels as well, is that Gary Gensler is coming after these exchanges. He said Coinbase had a lot of unregistered securities. So it'll be interesting to see where this case goes. I actually had a thought where there's always been talk of, once Ripple wins this case, the native token XRP is going to be the only asset that has full compliance and clarity in the space. Now I was thinking, what if all these exchanges and a lot of digital assets were labeled as securities by the SEC, and there's all these lawsuits that are coming after them, right? And this is a hypothetical scenario. In addition to that, Brad Garlinghouse said that 99% of cryptos will go away, okay? Because most of them they're just crap. Let's just put it that way. They don't. There's not a 20,000 different use cases. So, and that's a side note. But what if all the SEC comes after all these other cryptos that they deem to be securities, and they go after all these exchanges, and the exchanges that they don't see fit are gone, and the exchanges that do stay become go under the custodianship or jurisdiction of certain entities. Let's put it that way, because I'm not entirely sure what would happen with them. But while all this is happening with these lawsuits and XRP's over here fighting its case, what is the likely scenario that XRP during this time period ends up winning this lawsuit, right? And all these other exchanges and all these other assets are fighting against the SEC because they're deemed to be securities. Well, can you imagine the flood of money that would go from all these digital assets into XRP? Because this one has full compliance and full clarity. Not only that, you'll see major institutions, banks, etc., jumping onto this asset to be using it. Because we know the kind of utility it has, we know the kind of fundamentals it has. So just think about that scenario where everything else is in a lawsuit because they're deemed securities, but then XRP is able to win this case and get full clarity. Now, what would that do to the price? I don't know, folks. It's a hypothetical situation, a thought experiment, but you gotta wonder, because right now the SEC is going after everything hard. Okay, and here, just this tweet by Mickey B. Fresh, he says, "Looks like Ripple's going for the win at summary judgment. Let's get that full clarity for XRP holders, Ripple, and all market participants, including exchanges and institutions. What's the point of settling for Ripple when they are on the brink of victory?" And here he's tweeting what Charles Gasparino said, that Ripple's legal team told Fox Business they have no plans to settle with the SEC over a lawsuit on XRP, confident they can show Gary Gensler in pursuing the case is picking winners and losers in the crypto business to the detriment of innovation. Okay, so that's interesting, and we'll definitely monitor that. In other news, Songbird is live. Okay, so the token airdrop update. So you won't see your tokens until here it says until there is a public RPC endpoint, and this is probably not going to happen before September 27th. So you won't see your tokens until most likely then. Okay, and I know there is well, before I get to that, let's just go over this. It says Songbird is currently in observation mode. What does this mean? Observation mode is intended to allow exchanges, FTSO data providers, and developers to deploy on the network in a safe manner. If the network and Flare FTSO smart contracts prove stable, then observation mode will end on the 27th of September. Okay, so they have this observation. Now, the Songbird, the canary network for Flare, it is an operational blockchain with a defined token supply that is intended to be used to test features for a related mainnet. After sufficient testing of the F asset contracts, Flare will be launched and Songbird will become the testing ground for governance-based changes to Flare. And here it, shows you how to check your Flare, what the ratio is. This is a pretty good diagram that shows everything. Okay, so if you want this, it's XRP Crow or @Stetas, and he provides some information. Now, if you want to do it through your Ledger Nano X, the Flare network has provided some instructions. Okay, you might have to update your apps and also install a Songbird app. In addition to that, you'll have to use, it seems like, MetaMask. So once you get your MetaMask, and be careful which MetaMask browser extension you use. There are fakes out there, and they will take all your funds. So be very aware that you're using the correct MetaMask browser extension, because if you don't, you risk your funds. So I would advise maybe wait for someone to put out a video or something and then do it. I know XRP Bags is pretty good at doing that. So if you want to go check out his YouTube channel, he usually does these kinds of things. And once you do that, you can go ahead and enter the information and you should be good. And hopefully you'll see your airdropped tokens no later than the 27th, or at the earliest the 27th, depending on how the operation mode goes. Anyways, I hope this episode's brought you some value. Like and subscribe, comment below, share this video, let people know that the Songbird network is live, and to get ready for that. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.